We talked about 11 mass shootings in the United States over the weekend, more than 300 total shootings. Those are the real numbers. 11 mass shootings, 300 total shootings. And much of what we got from the gun people, as I call them, after the Allen, Texas shooting left 8 dead, 7 injured at a mall, much of it was the same do-nothing agit trash that we've been looking at for decades. But we heard from an interesting guy, a witness of the mall shooting. His name is Steven Spainhouer. And one of the things that he said was, I'm an ex-cop. I'm an ex-military officer. I'm a gun person. I love guns. He loves his guns. But he said it wasn't mental health that killed these people. It was an automatic rifle with bullets. This guy presenting some moral clarity on this as a gun lover. Okay, let's listen.
I don't know what the gunman's problem was. I don't know his motive, but it wasn't mental health that killed these people. It was an automatic rifle with bullets. That's right. What killed them. I'm a gun lover. I have guns. I'm a former police officer. I'm a former Army officer. But these M4s and AR-15s, they've got to get off the streets or this is going to keep happening. And we've got to stop that at some point. It could be you. It could be your family member. I never imagined it would be me. I never imagined it would happen in my community, but it did. And we've got to stop this type of carnage. And all the politicians are going to make statements. They're going to offer prayers and condolences. Prayers and condolences won't bring these people back.
Right.
We need some action in our legislatures at the federal and state level for better gun control. And I'm saying that as somebody who loves guns.
Who can argue with that? And you know what? This isn't that rare of a view among the progressive gun owners. I know so many people, my age, older, younger, progressives who own guns and have this exact same view. And to be perfectly frank, much of their gun ownership, this guy loves guns. Okay, good for him. But he has the clarity to say, we've got to do something about the guns. I have some friends who love guns and collect and all of this stuff, and they are completely fine saying it should be really strict. I'm willing to do whatever I need to do. I'll get the safe. I'll get the insurance. I'll get the required. I'll get a mental health eval. Not that these things are required, but they're willing to do them if everybody's subjected to them. We'll do the mental health eval. I'll do liability insurance, relicensing, eye exam. Right? It's got to be at least as difficult as getting and maintaining a car and a license on the road. But some of my progressive gun owning friends just realize that they don't want only the right wingers having the guns. And that becomes a race to the bottom, arguably, even though I sympathize with that and I understand it. So we need something to change that most of us would agree with, although there are some on the right who actually say we don't need anything to change other than people buying more guns. Okay, well, they're pretty sick. It's going to be hard to talk to them. But we have a list of very low-hanging fruit that the country by and large agrees with. We looked at the poll last week. Background checks in all cases at the top of the list, waiting periods, banning some guns, et cetera, et cetera. We know some of the things that the country agrees with, but there's too much money raised. There's too much NRA blood money, which is effectively what it is, doled out to elected officials. And unfortunately, listen, I don't want to say nothing will ever change. That's a defeatist attitude. We've seen just about every scenario teed up where you should be able to knock one out of the park easily and achieve some change. After Sandy Hook comes to mind, and yet nothing or almost nothing happens. So good for Steve Spainhouer for saying what he said. Gun lover, but it wasn't mental health. It was the guns that did this. Meanwhile, there are still Republicans saying all we need is thoughts and prayers. Let's look at that next. When there's a nonfiction book I just don't have the time to read, having a summary of the book is really valuable. Several different platforms out there will summarize books. I've tried them all. Short form is by far the most impressive one, and it goes way beyond what other platforms do. Our sponsor, Short Form, not only will summarize the book, covering all of the key ideas, Short Form also provides analysis and commentary that contextualizes the book, comparing it to what other books say about the same topic, and you can read or listen to the entire thing in one sitting. For instance, the book Dark Money by Jane Mayer, about how wealthy Republicans are covertly influencing American politics. Short form clearly and concisely sums up the book's most important takeaways, but it also gives you a ton of other crucial background about lobbying, libertarianism, and that helps you really understand how does the book fit into the broader topic of conservative money in politics. That's why I love short form. Short form has every genre: politics, business, tech, biographies, and my audience can try short form totally free and get 25% off a subscription at shortform.com/Pacman. The link is down below.